So you could accelerate that by acquiring another business that's already acquiring single family homes, that's already got a pipeline and everything. That would be in the center of our acquisition wheel. That would be acquiring what would effectively be a competitor to the business that you want to get into or that you've got started, right?
I'm doing all right. It's my first week with you guys. I've
Well,
seen your
welcome, welcome.
Thank you. I've seen your ads more times than I can count, so I finally decided to go ahead and sign up with you.
It's
Just
the only way to stop them, you know?
so quick. I'm from Canada. Actually, we're part of a big family here.
Oh,
Uh,
great.
we have pretty sizable next to IKEA. We have the biggest kind of share of furniture in Canada, and
Great.
our family is transitioning to real estate, which is now my
Okay.
passion project. I have paired up with a team in St. Louis to uh, pretty much acquire real estate. We're looking to acquire a rental portfolio. I know
Okay.
you like real estate based on the courses I've been watching. So
Yep.
I have one big question for you, and I actually wrote it down.
Okay.
I'm looking to what acquisitions or business acquisitions can I make to help speed up the building of my real estate portfolio or our real estate portfolio?
Sure. So I would really strongly recommend that you go through the acquisition wheel exercise. That'll help you with this a lot. But the way that I like to think about it is that you've got the core thing that you want to buy. And let's say that's real estate. Is it commercial or residential real estate?
Residential, single family homes is what we're looking
Okay,
at.
so I want to buy single family homes. So you could accelerate that by acquiring another business that's already acquiring single family homes, that's already got a pipeline and everything. That would be in the center of our acquisition wheel. That would be acquiring what would effectively be a competitor to the business that you want to get into or that you've got started, right? Then you go and say, okay, well, how can I get more leads for single family home acquisitions? Well, there's a few ways you could do that. You could work with wholesalers who are going to be going out and doing all the legwork to find those deals. And we can connect you to wholesalers if you would like, because we have lots of those relationships.
Or
But that's not going to be as good a deal as if you can buy direct. One of the biggest sources for deals like that would be real estate agents. So when they go in and they can't get a listing, and they tell this because the seller wants too much, very often they could deliver a wholesale deal to the seller and you become effectively a wholesaler acquirer of those businesses, excuse me, of those houses through the real estate agent. The real estate agent gets a piece of it, you get a piece of it, everybody wins, and they can typically be no money out of pocket acquisitions because they're not being sold right off the bat, right? That would be another way to do it. You could go into who else besides real estate agents have leads. Maybe it would make sense for you to buy an agency, a real estate brokerage that's in St. Louis, because they've already got pipeline brand awareness and that sort of thing. So that would be a good potential acquisition along the leads side. And then you could say, well, who else knows people who would be selling their houses? Certainly movers do, cable companies doing connections and disconnections, power company doing disconnections and connections. So who's facilitating things like that? Relocation experts, relocation people at major industries within St. Louis. Typically, bigger businesses are going to have in HR somebody that's either in company or that's a contractor that's helping with relocation. So those would be people that I would be talking to. All of those would be potential acquisitions of the lead sources for those things. There would also particularly be meetup groups and welcome meetup groups and groups of people for new people coming into a territory, like Facebook groups and things like that. So I'd look at potentially acquiring that media as well. That's in the upper left corner of our acquisition wheel
yeah,
around leads.
yeah.
Then I would hop over to teams, which would be the next box of infrastructure. Certainly reaching out on LinkedIn, identifying the people who are already connected to pipelines of potential sellers, figuring out what are the job titles of those people, and then looking for people with those job titles that are in St. Louis as potential strategic partners to reach out to would be something that I would definitely be doing. And then what are all of the people who are selling in particular doing. A lot of them are putting their stuff in mini storages. So it might make sense to either connect with or acquire mini storages that are being used by people who are storing their stuff in between transitions. And there are like temporary places and longer term places. So I'd be looking at the shorter term ones. And I just kind of go around that wheel and brainstorm all of the places that could help me with that. So what are all the things that my ideal customer is selling a single family home between this and this in value in this location, probably let's just say all of St. Louis. Great. Okay. So what are those people doing immediately before they're listing their house for sale, while they have the house listed for sale, and as soon as the house has sold? As soon as it's sold is probably too late for you, but a lot of deals fall through. And so I'd want to know, I'd want to get connectivity to that as well. That's kind of how I would approach the thought process around that.